and his own 2028 ambitions than the deaths and shootings that occur on his streets every single week. There are entire websites devoted to tracking Chicago homicide victims. Does Pritzker even know any of their names? Going forward, in every state across America, in the Virginia and the New Jersey gubernatorial races in November, and in the midterms next year, voters have to ask themselves, which party is fighting for my family and which party is fighting for the criminals? Tonight, the answer is clear, and that's the angle. Here with me exclusively is FBI Director Cashapp Patel. He was also at that roundtable the president held this afternoon, which I couldn't stop watching. Director Patel, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We're going to get to this bust of this gambling ring in a moment, but Governor Pritzker and others are creating these apps and databases to track ICE agents. Is there any movement in the administration to pursue, prosecution or charges against individuals who are impeding law enforcement to that capacity?
Hey, Laura, it's great to be with you. And absolutely. And because of the power of President Trump and the team that he has built, not just in the public sector, in the government sector, but the private sector, he and our attorney general have been able to go to these application companies and have these apps actually deleted and permanently removed. That's the immediate solution. But if these people continue to endanger the lives of law enforcement, you bet this FBI is going to chase every single one of them down. No one is allowed to touch a cop on my watch, and no one's going to touch a cop on our watch. And on the off chance that they do or participate in a scheme via an app or otherwise that does so, they will find themselves in handcuffs, just like so many of those that have tried to hurt law enforcement in the past. But now law enforcement is so well respected thanks to President Trump's leadership and the establishment of this Homeland Security Task Force. The American people are seeing what cops can do when you let them be cops.
What do you think Governor Pritzker's motivation is here? I mean, he's lying when he said.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. When you try to we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
I know you'll stay on it. That's in California. This now is west of Chicago, about 25 minutes, where we expect a new round of protests. In fact, they're already there, and this is based on the clock at 8 a.m. local time in Chicago. This is a violation of what the time frame was. You got a crowd of demonstrators already gathering. It's been the site of repeated skirmishes between the cops and rioters. This is the Illinois Democratic Governor, J.B. Pritzker, raising the possibility of further prosecutions against ICE agents. We'll share that with you here coming up. Dana?
Meanwhile, the Trump administration is firing back against the Illinois governor for ratcheting up anti-ICE rhetoric. And Peter Doocy is live at the White House. He's got the back and forth for us. Hi, Peter.
And Dana, despite everything that William was just reporting, the loudest voices against this White House's effort to deport criminal illegal aliens are just getting louder.
The thing that we're demonizing is when ICE agents aren't following protocols. They aren't acting like law enforcement should act. They're instead literally racially profiling. We've seen it. All you have to do is go online and look at some of the videos. Just to be clear, because I think many people that are listening maybe haven't seen that before. Think if you're an ICE agent and you do these things, we think you ought to be held accountable.
Held accountable could mean arrested. This is a live picture here, I believe, in Broadview, Illinois. The idea is that federal agents could be arrested by state officials. And if that happens, the highest levels of the Justice Department are threatening Democratic officials with charges for obstruction.
You cannot disclose the identity of a federal agent, where they live, anything that could harm them. Pritzker, same ballgame with him. And, you know, Pelosi got a letter today from Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. So did Brooke Jenkins, that DA in San Francisco. We told them, preserve your emails, preserve everything you have on this topic, because if you are telling people to arrest our ICE officers, our federal agents, you cannot do that.
The biggest concern among folks here in the West Wing of the White House remains the threats of violence against federal officials carrying out the immigration orders of the president. But there is more and more talk now about these threats to arrest these guys as well. Dana.
All right, Peter, thank you.
So on it goes. Byron York here to analyze it. Byron, good day to you. We've been talking all week about what may happen here in New York if we get a certain outcome in 2 weeks in our mayor election here. And ICE is going to be all over Manhattan and the other 4 boroughs. And we're going to take a new step into this, okay? So when Pew went out to find out how Americans feel, who's responsible, here it is on screen, guys. Number 1, if you're a Republican, 3/4 of you are blaming Democrats. If you're a Democrat, 3/4 of you are blaming Republicans. So both sides see it the same way in that they blame the other side, Byron.
A remarkable agreement, 85% on both sides, that political violence is increasing. And when you look, we've just seen the politically motivated assassination of Charlie Kirk, the politically motivated assassination of Brian Thompson, the United Healthcare CEO, the politically motivated shooting of President Donald Trump, and the other politically motivated assassination attempt of him, plus attacks on Governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, the murder of the former Speaker of the House in Minnesota, Melissa Hortman, plus all of this violence we're seeing in the streets now. An incredible Antifa attack on July 4th in Texas, where Antifa protesters had AR-15s, bulletproof vests, intending to kill, and the attack on ICE in Dallas, where 2 people were killed. So how can anybody not think that political violence is increasing?
And Byron, this is pretty stunning. This was from a Democratic lawmaker in Houston, Texas. Watch here.
Donald Trump has changed things, and people trying to do what's always been done is not going to work. And I think that's why Democrats are losing black people. That's why they're losing poor people, because poor people, all they want is for us to fight. So if you hit me in my face, I'm not going to punch you back in your face. I'm going to go across your neck, because we can go back and forth fighting each other's faces. You've got to hit hard enough where they won't come back.
And perhaps she's using that as a metaphor about the war of ideas, but it doesn't feel like it or sound like it, and it's hard to get past that conversation to get to the real meat of some of these disagreements.
Yeah, if you look at the Pew results, Democrats mostly blame Donald Trump for the problem. And the rhetoric we're seeing on the left, and I think you just showed a perfect example of that rhetoric. Yes, the words fighting somebody or knifing somebody, but it can also actually be used in a violent context. And when you see what we're seeing now, especially in the attacks on the enforcement of federal immigration law, we're seeing them all over the country. It's hard to interpret that any other way.
Byron, thanks for coming in and chiming in on that. It will not be the end of this particular conversation, I'm sure. Thank you, Byron. Have a good weekend.